Big board, go to New York. Stocks are up. Dow Jones is up 162. Quite a rally on Wall Street today. Stocks are getting a little bit of a lift today from crude prices. And yesterday we saw numbers down across the board. So I'm sure investors are happy. Well, how does the housing market look for the new year? Back with us this morning, our Fox 5's real estate expert, the no bull agent, Ken Kaplan. Good morning to you, Ken.
Good morning, Coastal.
So the Fed recently raised interest rates. Now, I know it's just a little bit. How is that going to affect mortgage rates for home buyers next year?
You know, I think we're going to just, we'll have to see what time brings us over the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. Just because the Fed's raised it to the banks doesn't necessarily mean that the banks will pass that on to the consumer. If the banks start to pass that on to the consumer and the consumers start to push back and pull away from the table and you see loan applications fall, then we know there will be probably more of a buyer's market than a seller's market because buyers have backed away from the table.
And what is your prediction for the housing market next year, boom or bust? You
know, I think if we maintain an appreciation rate that is normal, sustainable, in the mid single digits to low double digits, I think we're fine. If we start to appreciate too fast, then I think it could stall. I mean, it's all about what type of inventory we have on the books and how quickly it's moving.
And talking about that, what are the year-end trends with home prices and inventory? How does it look?
We saw an inventory kind of slow down, and we thought that, gosh, well, people were holding back for the holiday season and maybe not putting on their homes onto the market because of the holidays. But now we're starting to see, this is when we should start seeing inventory coming back onto the market. Now that we passed, the major holidays, I would say again, the first 2-3 weeks, if we start seeing an influx of inventory coming onto the market, it absolutely will start to become a buyer's market again.
Yeah, so it's a good time for San Diegans who are looking for a home to get out there, because it seems like a lot of times that, you like a house and within a week, it's gone. You got to be quick in San Diego.
You do, and that's kind of the telltale. I mean, in this market, if it's priced right, it's gone quickly. If it's not, it's sitting. And there's only 2 reasons why a house doesn't sell: it's price or condition. And so if the market's moving when properties are moving within a week or 2 weeks on the market.
Yeah, so tell us, I know you have some of those great tips you always have, year-end tips you want to leave us with.
Sure. Let's see. I just heard a story the other day from a friend, Kurt and Nika. They had a dryer fire on Christmas Day. Oh, no. Now, these are people who I know who take care of their dryer. They clean out the vents, they clean out the ducts, they clean out the lint. Well, the bottom line is that the repairman told them after it had caught fire that there's actually lint that falls at the bottom of the dryer. So the tip is, don't leave your dryer on when you leave the house or when you go to bed, because you don't know what could start during that time when you're gone.
Yeah, that's scary. I've thought about it a couple of times, hearing about the dryer fires, but I thought that was happened, I thought that they built dryers now to prevent that from happening, like the newer models that come out.
I've been in real estate a long time, and I'd not ever heard of that happening. I had heard of it as being a myth of kind of, well, as long as you do what you need to do to keep up with the maintenance of the dryer, you should be fine. I didn't realize you really need to beware and maybe take off the panel on the back of that dryer and vacuum underneath it ever so frequently.
All right. Well, thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
All your advice.
And can I put one more out there, if I may?
Please do.
During this holiday season, we've heard about people who've had, ornaments or things stolen from the front of their house.
And packages.
And packages,
yeah.
Exactly. Cameras are one thing if you can afford to put cameras on, but a really good way to keep track of what's going on in your neighborhood, there's an app called Nextdoor. And you can go online, you can download that app, and that app will actually keep you in touch with your neighbors. It verifies who you are before they let you onto that site, and then you can keep touch with the neighbors that are in your surrounding area and find out what's going on, if there's been a rash of thefts, if there's been something that's going on, if there's, whatever it may be, your closest neighbors will know and you'll be in touch with them.
That's sad. That should be a New Year's resolution. If you don't know your neighbors, get out there, knock on the door, bring them some cookies.
Get to know your neighbors, knock on their door.
Get to know your neighbors. How do you not know your neighbors?
Absolutely.
You know
You're going out of town, you want them to know, it's important.
There's an app for that. You haven't done it already? What's wrong with you? All right, Ken, great seeing you. Hope you have a great and safe New Year.
And you as well.
Thank you. If you have real estate questions for the No Bull Agent, hit him up on Twitter at the No Bull Agent.
Time now for your